If you're over 60 and still gripping like you're in your 20s, you could be slowly destroying your manhood without even knowing it. That's not an exaggeration. It's coming straight from a surgeon who's seen the aftermath far too many times. Today, we're diving into a topic most doctors are too embarrassed to talk about, but every older man needs to hear. Because whether you're single widowed or just trying to maintain a healthy relationship with your body, how you handle yourself matters more than ever. Your habits can either support long-term function or quietly sabotage it. Over the next few minutes, I'll reveal 7 masturbation mistakes that are silently damaging men's health after 60. Mistakes that can lead to pain, numbness, and even permanent dysfunction if left unchecked. This isn't about judgment. It's about clarity, compassion, and taking back control of your body in the second half of life. So take a deep breath. Stay with me. This may be uncomfortable, but it could save your future self a world of regret. Mistake 1. Gripping too hard like you're 25 might sound harmless, but for older men, it can quietly lead to a cascade of issues that no one warns you about. When you're younger, the body bounces back. Your skin is more elastic. Your blood vessels are more resilient. Your nerve endings recover faster. But after 60, everything gets a little more delicate. And applying too much pressure, especially during self-pleasure, doesn't just affect the moment. It can cause lasting harm to the tissues and nerves responsible for sensation and performance. You see, the penis isn't just skin and muscle. It's a complex network of nerves, blood vessels, and soft tissue, all of which depend on proper blood flow and oxygen to function. When you grip too tightly, you're doing more than just applying pressure. You're literally reducing blood flow, cutting off circulation, creating micro-trauma. Over time, this can lead to numbness, desensitization, and even something called death grip syndrome, a real condition where a man becomes unable to respond to normal stimulation because the brain and body have become rewired to expect only intense, aggressive pressure. And here's the thing. Most men don't even realize they're doing it because it starts small, a little tighter one day, a little longer the next. Then before you know it, what used to feel good now requires more force just to feel something. It's a dangerous feedback loop. And the longer it goes on, the harder it becomes to enjoy intimacy, whether alone or with a partner. Not to mention the risk of inflammation, vein damage, or micro-tears that can become chronic over time. So what's the solution? It's not about giving up pleasure. It's about relearning it, approaching it with awareness, gentleness, and respect for what your body needs now, not what it could handle 30 years ago. Try this. Next time, be mindful of your grip. Use your non-dominant hand if you need to retrain the sensation. Incorporate natural lubricants not just for comfort, but to protect your skin and tissues. And focus less on speed or force, and more on rhythm, breath, and patience. You might be surprised at how much more you actually feel when you let go of the old habits and tune in to what your body is really asking for. Mistake 2. Rushing to the finish line might seem harmless, but it's one of the most overlooked reasons men over 60 slowly lose sensitivity, pleasure, and even emotional connection. Let's be honest, we live in a world that pushes speed, fast results, quick fixes, minimal effort, and that mindset often seeps into our most intimate moments, especially when we're alone. We start treating pleasure like a chore. Get in, get it done, move on with the day. But here's the problem. Your nervous system isn't built for that kind of shortcut, not after 60. In fact, as you age, your body needs more time, not less. To warm up, to engage, to build enough blood flow for satisfying arousal and release. Rushing trains your brain to associate pleasure with urgency instead of depth, instead of satisfaction. And over time, that reconditioning dulls your natural ability to feel. Think about it like this. If you rush through every meal chewing as fast as you can, you start missing the flavors, the textures, the enjoyment. The same thing happens here. When you consistently race to the finish, you bypass all the sensations in between. You teach your body to skip the buildup and expect a quick spike instead. That spike might feel intense in the moment, but it's shallow. And eventually even that intensity begins to fade. But that's not all. When you rush, you also shortcut your cardiovascular system. The penis is a vascular organ. It depends on strong, consistent blood flow to function well. If you only give it 30 seconds of stimulation and call it a day, you're not doing much to improve circulation. You're actually making it harder for your body to maintain or even reach full arousal next time. And here's something most men don't talk about: the emotional toll. The more you rush, the more disconnected you become from yourself. Pleasure turns mechanical. Moments that could bring calm, connection, and even healing become forgettable, or worse, frustrating. So what should you do instead? Slow everything down. Before anything physical even begins, take a moment to breathe, to settle in, to focus on your body and your breath. Then start gently, not to get somewhere, but to be somewhere. Use this time not as a transaction, but as a conversation with your own body. A way to listen, not just perform. Try this for the next few days. Instead of setting a goal or a timer, give yourself permission to explore, to notice, to savor. You'll be surprised at how much more you feel when you stop trying to race through it. And even more surprised at how your performance, stamina, and sensitivity start to return simply because you allowed your nervous system the time it actually needs. Mistake 3. Relying too heavily on fantasy is one of the most subtle yet deeply damaging habits that men over 60 fall into. At first, it doesn't seem like a problem. After all, imagination has always played a role in intimacy. It's private, safe, and often more exciting than reality. But when fantasy becomes the primary driver of arousal, the body slowly forgets how to respond to real touch, real emotion, and real connection. Let me explain. The brain is incredibly adaptive. It learns through repetition. So if you constantly use fantasy as your shortcut to stimulation, especially the kind of fantasy that's exaggerated, unrealistic, or extreme, your nervous system begins to rely on that stimulation as the only way it knows how to get turned on. That means when you're with a real partner, or even just trying to connect with yourself in a grounded way, your body might not respond the same. Because it's been conditioned to need more. More visual intensity, more unrealistic scenarios, more mental distraction just to feel something. Over time, this disconnect grows. The mind craves one thing, but the body and reality can't follow. You might notice that it takes longer to get aroused, or that you need specific thoughts or even specific images to feel any sort of excitement. Without them, the experience feels flat, numb, or frustrating. Even worse, fantasy can pull you away from your body. Instead of being present in the moment with your breath, your skin, your heartbeat, you're trapped in a mental movie. And while that movie might feel stimulating, it's not healing, it's not nourishing, it's not real. Here's the truth. As you age, your nervous system becomes more sensitive to disconnection. And when fantasy becomes a crutch, it slowly erodes your body's ability to respond to the simple, subtle, real sensations that build healthy intimacy. Now let's be clear. This isn't about shame. There's nothing wrong with imagination. The problem is over-reliance and what it does to your nervous system when it becomes your only source of pleasure. So what can you do instead? You train your body to come back to presence, to sensation, to real touch, to real emotion. Try this. The next time you engage in any form of intimacy, resist the urge to immediately drift into fantasy. Instead, focus on your breath. Focus on the way your hands feel. Focus on the rhythm of your heart, the temperature of your skin, the sensation of movement. Even if you don't feel much at first, stay with it. Because just like any muscle presence takes practice, and the more you bring your awareness back to your body without escaping into your mind, the more responsive, alive, and awake you become. This simple shift from fantasy to presence can completely transform the way your body responds. It reignites your sensitivity. It rebuilds your connection. And most importantly, it restores your ability to feel pleasure from reality, not just from imagination. Are you ready to go deeper? Mistake 4, ignoring the breath and the tension in your body might sound simple, even insignificant. But it's one of the biggest reasons why so many men over 60 feel disconnected, numb, or frustrated when it comes to pleasure and intimacy. Let me explain why this matters so much. Breath is not just about oxygen. It's the key to nervous system regulation. It determines whether your body is in a state of calm or a state of stress. And that state, whether relaxed or tense, directly influences your arousal, your sensation, and your ability to stay present in the moment. When you hold your breath, or when your breathing becomes shallow, your body slips into fight or flight mode. Your muscles tense, your blood flow constricts, and your awareness pulls away from your lower body from the very place where you want to feel most alive. Now think about it. How often during moments of intimacy do you actually pay attention to your breathing or to the tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your hips? Most men don't. They power through. They chase the goal. They focus on performance, on outcome, instead of tuning in to what's actually happening inside their own body. And over time, this disconnection becomes automatic. You might start the experience relaxed, but the moment arousal kicks in, your body tightens. Your breath gets trapped in your chest, and suddenly everything feels rushed, forced, mechanical. This is what leads to things like premature release, or difficulty maintaining arousal, or the sense that you're not really feeling anything at all, just going through the motions. But it doesn't have to be this way. There's a reason why elite athletes, martial artists, and even monks all emphasize breath as the foundation of mastery. Because breath is the bridge between your mind and your body. It's how you stay rooted, how you stay in control, how you stay present even when the intensity rises. So how do you start correcting this mistake? Begin with awareness. Right now, wherever you are, notice your breath. Are you breathing deeply into your belly? Or is your breath shallow, stuck in your chest or throat? Next, scan your body for tension. Are your shoulders creeping up? Is your jaw clenched? Are your hips tight? Now, as you exhale, let go. Relax your shoulders. Soften your face. Let your belly expand and contract with each breath, slowly, fully. This practice alone, returning to deep conscious breathing and softening the tension in your body, can change everything. Because the more relaxed your nervous system is, the more blood flows to the areas that matter, the more sensation you can feel, and the longer you can stay in a state of connected, grounded pleasure. It's not about doing more, it's about doing less and feeling more. So the next time you find yourself in an intimate moment, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Notice where you're holding tension. And release. Let your breath guide the rhythm. Let your body open to the experience instead of bracing against it. When you do that, something beautiful happens. You stop performing, and you start connecting with yourself, with your partner, with the present moment. And that connection, that deep embodied presence, is where real pleasure lives. Mistake 5, focusing only on your genitals and ignoring the rest of your body, is one of the most common traps older men fall into. And it's easy to see why. From a young age, we're taught that pleasure, especially sexual pleasure, is centered in just one part of the body. The message is clear: if your penis is working, everything's fine. If it's not, you've got a problem. But here's the truth. That belief is not only limiting, it's harmful. Your body is a vast, interconnected network of sensation. And when you reduce your experience to just one tiny area, you miss out on 90% of the pleasure you're capable of feeling. Let's break this down. Your skin, all of it, is packed with nerve endings. Your neck, your back, your arms, your thighs, even your feet. These are all gateways to pleasure. They're part of the full experience, not just background scenery. But if you treat everything from the waist up as irrelevant, if you focus all your energy and attention on one small area, you disconnect from the richness and depth that your body can offer. And over time, that habit trains your brain to dull the sensations in other areas. It narrows your arousal response. It reinforces performance anxiety. And it turns intimacy into a mechanical task instead of a full-bodied experience. So what's the solution? It begins with a shift in mindset. Instead of asking, "Is it working down there?" start asking, "What am I feeling everywhere else?" Are your hands relaxed or clenched? Is your chest soft or tight? Can you feel the breeze on your skin? The pressure of a touch on your neck? The warmth of a kiss on your shoulder? These details matter. Because when you awaken the rest of your body, you take the pressure off your genitals to carry the entire experience. And that alone reduces anxiety, increases stamina, and deepens connection. Here's a simple practice to try. The next time you're alone or with a partner, start by not touching your genitals. Instead, place your hands on your chest. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. Notice the temperature of your skin. Then explore slowly your arms, your belly, your thighs. Let your body guide you. Let your curiosity lead. You'll begin to notice subtle waves of sensation you've been ignoring for years. You may feel tingling, heat, even emotion rising to the surface. This is your body waking up. This is your nervous system reconnecting. And over time, the more you include your whole body in your experience, the more pleasure you'll feel even from the smallest touch. This is especially powerful for men over 60. Why? Because with age, sensitivity in the genitals may decrease. Blood flow slows. Nerve endings may not respond the way they used to. But that doesn't mean pleasure has to disappear. It just means you need to expand your map, to move beyond the old patterns, to discover the forgotten territories of your own skin. Pleasure is not about chasing intensity in one place. It's about tuning in to sensation everywhere. And the more present you are with your whole body, the more alive you'll feel. In bed, in life, in yourself. So don't settle for less. Open the door to more connection, more awareness, more joy. Mistake 6. Ignoring hydration might sound simple, even silly, but trust me, it's far more serious than most men realize, especially after 60. Let's get one thing clear right from the start. Your body is made up of about 60% water, and every single cell, tissue, and organ relies on water to function. From your brain to your heart, from your muscles to your mood, from your joints to your sexual performance. Now here's the truth most older men overlook. As we age, our thirst response becomes weaker. We don't feel thirsty even when we are dehydrated. So we drink less, and we pay for it. What does dehydration actually do to you? Well, it thickens your blood, which makes circulation harder, and less blood flow. That means weaker erections. It also dries out tissues, including those involved in arousal. That can lead to discomfort, lower sensation, and a drop in desire. Your energy levels gone, your mental clarity fuzzy, your mood irritable and low. Even your sleep quality takes a hit. Dehydration is like a silent sabotage. It drains you slowly, quietly. And because it happens over time, it's easy to miss until the damage is done. But it gets worse. Low water intake affects testosterone levels too, and not just indirectly. Studies have shown that even mild dehydration can increase cortisol, your stress hormone. And when cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. Simple as that. So while you may be trying all kinds of supplements, exercises, or techniques to feel more like yourself again, if your body is dehydrated, you're fighting an uphill battle. So how much water do you really need? Forget the old 8 glasses a day rule. That's outdated and far too general. Instead, aim for half your body weight in ounces of water. If you weigh 180 pounds, that's about 90 ounces a day. More if you're active or live in a hot climate. But here's the key. Don't chug it all at once. Sip consistently throughout the day. First thing in the morning, drink a glass of water. Before meals, have another. Keep a refillable bottle nearby and make it easy to reach for. Now let's talk about signs you might already be dehydrated. Do you wake up with a dry mouth? Get lightheaded when you stand up? Feel sluggish for no clear reason? Need caffeine to stay alert? Have dark yellow urine or go hours without needing to pee? These are all signals. Your body is asking, sometimes begging for hydration. And remember, it's not just about drinking water. You also need to hold on to it. That means getting enough electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium. A pinch of sea salt in your water. Adding coconut water or an electrolyte tablet. Eating water-rich foods like cucumbers, oranges, or melons. All of this helps your body actually use the water you give it. So here's your action step. Starting today, not tomorrow, not next week, track your water intake. Pay attention. Create small habits. Rehydrate your body consistently, not just when you feel thirsty. And watch how your energy improves, how your skin glows, how your mind sharpens, and yes, how your sexual health returns. Hydration isn't a bonus, it's a foundation. And ignoring it is a mistake you can't afford to keep making. When you take your body seriously, it responds. Give it what it needs, and it will give back more than you ever imagined. Now, mistake 7, using porn to escape reality, is one of the most overlooked reasons why men feel disconnected, unmotivated, and emotionally numb after 60. It may feel harmless. It may even seem like a form of release. But it's far more damaging than most men realize. Let's be real. As we get older, physical intimacy often becomes more complicated. Relationships shift, bodies change, confidence dips, and for many men, porn becomes the easy substitute, the instant fix, the silent escape. But here's what most never talk about. Porn rewires your brain, literally. It trains your mind to crave dopamine spikes, quick hits of pleasure without real emotional connection. It builds tolerance, meaning what once excited you no longer does. You end up needing more, more extreme, more novel, more frequent, just to feel the same spark. This isn't about morality. This is neuroscience. And over time, it chips away at something crucial: your motivation. You begin to feel foggy, disconnected from real life, less energized, less driven, because your brain has been tricked into thinking it already got the reward, without ever earning it. And that's not all. Your expectations of intimacy get warped. You may find it harder to connect with a real partner. You may feel distant, unsatisfied, or even ashamed. And for many men, this leads to isolation, to loneliness, and to a sense of quiet failure that's hard to name. But here's the part: no one tells you you can reverse it. You can rewire your brain. You can rebuild real desire. You can feel present and alive again in your mind, in your body, and in your relationships. It starts with honesty, acknowledging how often you turn to porn when you feel bored, sad, stressed, or lonely. Ask yourself, what are you really trying to escape? Is it the fear of aging? Is it the lack of connection? Is it the grief of a relationship that isn't what it used to be? Whatever it is, facing it takes courage, but it also sets you free. Next, set limits. This doesn't mean you need to go cold turkey overnight, but track your habits, reduce the frequency, and most importantly, replace the reason you reach for it. Instead of escaping through a screen, step outside. Call a friend. Move your body. Write down what you're feeling. Rebuild your inner world one real moment at a time. And if you're in a relationship, no matter how long it's been, open the door to emotional intimacy again. Start small. Sit next to each other without screens. Talk about something real. Hold hands. Share a memory. Build trust. Not just physical, but emotional. And if you're single, that's okay too. Use this time to connect with yourself, to remember who you are beyond performance, to find peace in your own skin again. Because here's the truth: porn may offer a moment of distraction, but it will never replace real connection, real growth, real power. The moment you choose to reconnect with life, you take back your energy, your clarity, your strength, and that's a decision you get to make. Right now. Now, are you ready for the final step in this journey? Here it is, the one daily practice that ties everything together and restores the man you were meant to be. It's not a pill, it's not a supplement, it's not even a workout. It's a ritual, a small, powerful act you do every day that reclaims your identity, your purpose, and your power. Ready? It's the morning integrity check. Before you grab your phone, before you turn on the news, before you let the world rush in and pull your attention in 100 directions, you sit, you breathe, and you ask yourself just one question. What kind of man do I want to be today? Sounds simple, right? But don't underestimate it, because here's what happens. When you start your day with intention, you take back control. You stop drifting. You stop reacting. You stop falling into the habits, the mistakes, the silent losses that chip away at your strength. Instead, you reconnect with your values, with your courage, with your wisdom. This check-in doesn't need to be long, just 5 minutes. You can do it with a cup of coffee in hand. You can do it looking out the window. You can do it in complete silence or with a journal in your lap. But you must do it honestly. Ask, am I showing up as the man I respect? Am I leading with strength or hiding behind distractions? Am I making choices that align with the man I'm still becoming? Because you're not done yet. You're not too old. And it is not too late. This one ritual, this morning integrity check, keeps you grounded when temptation pulls. It keeps you focused when energy dips. It reminds you of your mission when life tries to make you forget. And here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to be perfect. Some days you'll stumble. Some days you'll feel off track. Some days you won't feel like doing it at all. That's okay. Because this isn't about being flawless. It's about staying in the fight. It's about choosing to rise again and again until rising becomes who you are. And slowly, without fanfare, you begin to change. You stop letting past mistakes define you. You stop living in regret. You stop chasing cheap pleasure and start building real power. Your body feels stronger. Your mind feels clearer. Your heart more open. You start saying no to what drains you, and yes to what fuels you. You stop comparing. You stop hiding. You stop making excuses. And you start showing up. Fully, honestly, with nothing to prove, but everything to give. So here's the challenge. For the next 30 days, do the morning integrity check. Every single day, no matter what. Even if it's just 2 minutes, even if you don't know what to say, even if you feel resistance, do it anyway, because this small sacred moment has the power to transform everything. It rewires your identity. It strengthens your self-respect. It reminds you that you are still here, still growing, still capable of greatness. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are simply being called to come back to yourself. And that is a journey worth taking. Now, if this message touched something in you, if you feel a fire waking up inside, then don't keep it to yourself. Type "I'm in the comments. Let others know they're not alone. And if you haven't already, subscribe, because this space is for men like you. Men who refuse to stay silent. Men who rise. Men who remember who they really are. You ready? Let's do this together. And now, it's your turn. You've just heard the truth that most men never get to hear the real reasons behind silent struggles. The small daily choices that slowly drain your power. And the simple but powerful shift that can bring you back to life. But hearing it isn't enough. The real change begins when you act. So here's what I want you to do. If something in this message stirred your heart, if you saw yourself in these words, if even one part of you whispered, "That's me," then take the next step. Type "I'm ready" in the comments. Not because you have it all figured out, but because you're choosing to start. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. This channel isn't about quick fixes or hype. It's about truth. It's about transformation. It's about creating a space where men like you can rise again fully, powerfully, and without shame. And one more thing. If you know a man who needs to hear this, a brother, a father, a friend who's been stuck in silence for too long, send this to him. Let him know he's not alone. Let's rebuild what the world told us to forget: our strength, our vision, our worth. This is just the beginning. And I'm walking with you every step of the way.